Who supplied you with the materials for making this wonderful work? I tore up several of my shirts, and ripped out the seams in the sheets of my bed. During my 3 years' imprisonment at Fenestrelle, and when I was removed to the Chateau d'If, I managed to bring the ravelings with me, so that I have been able to finish my work here. And was it not discovered that your sheets were unhemmed? Oh, no, for when I had taken the thread I required, I hemmed the edges over again. With what? With this needle, said the Abbé as, opening his ragged vestments, he showed Dante a long, sharp fishbone, with a small perforated eye for the thread, a small portion of which still remained in it. I once thought, continued Faria, of removing these iron bars and letting myself down from the window, which, as you see, is somewhat wider than yours, although I should have enlarged it still more preparatory to my flight. However, I discovered that I should merely have dropped into a sort of inner court, and therefore I renounced the project altogether as too full of risk and danger. Nevertheless, I carefully preserved my ladder against one of those unforeseen opportunities of which I spoke just now, and which sudden chance frequently brings about. While affecting to be deeply engaged in examining the ladder, the mind of Dante was, in fact, busily occupied by the idea that a person so intelligent, ingenious, and clear-sighted as the Abbé might probably be able to solve the dark mystery of his own, where he himself could see nothing. Whoa, okay, hold on. Let's just take that last bit for a second. What does that mean? Okay, so Dante is like engaged in examining the ladder, I think on a superficial level, but he says that he's wondering if the Abbé might be able to solve the dark mystery of his own misfortunes, where he himself could see nothing. The dark mystery of his own misfortunes. Is he saying... What does that mean? Hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to figure this out in real time. I mean, we know what his misfortunes are, but what does dark mysteries of his own misfortune? What does dark mystery mean to Dante in this context? What does Dante know of his misfortunes? He's been imprisoned, he doesn't know why, and no one will hear him out or help him. What's the mystery there? That he doesn't know why those things have occurred. So he's saying that the Abbé might be able to shed light on the why behind the things that have happened to him, because he can't see anything. He can't figure out why. He doesn't know why. No one will listen to him. He cannot get any further information, I guess, with the deductive reasoning that he's bringing to the table. Is that right? I know you can't answer me, listener, but I'm struggling to is that what Dumas is saying Dante is thinking about here? Okay, let's take this one step further, because we've really only been talking about escape. Dante's really only had that occupying his mind ever since coming out of his deep, dark depression. Is this the first instance of him seeing the potential for expanding your mind beyond affecting your physical situation? So expanding my mind is going to allow me to escape. Is he saying that expanding my mind the way that the Faria clearly has, or I guess he's not saying expanding my mind, but with an expanded mind, with more knowledge and understanding, could one like Faria be able to better understand circumstances and shed light on why things are the way they are? Now, this could, if that is what Dumas is doing here, that could have massive repercussions, because that becomes philosophical. That becomes potentially ideological, because he can then take that one step further. If true, if the Faria is able to help him unravel the mysteries of his situation, then developing your mental faculties, if Dante makes this jump in logic, he could then not only prevent these situations from happening to him again, he could affect situations on others the way that Villefort has affected on him. And that speaks to the threat that was floated by a couple chapters ago, where Danglars and Fernand, remember that little recap of where all the characters are and what they are fearing? The idea that, when Napoleon came back to power and then was defeated again, suddenly Danglars is like, peace out, I'm going to a different country. Now that Dante might be released, I don't want anything to do with this area ever again. I'm leaving the sea. I'm gonna go be an accountant somewhere in Spain. That could lead to that threat of oh, this is a transformation not only of the mind and the spirit, but like the ideological underpinnings of what motivates his character and his capabilities of seeing that through to fruition. Wow, I just made a massive leap in logic, folks. I'm sorry you had to go down that journey with me, but something so small like that just seems to. Maybe this is me. This is how I read books and why I tend to be pretty insufferable. I read something like that and my mind starts spiraling down all those potentialities rather than just kind of taking it for what it is. I could have just wasted the last 5 minutes of your time talking about that, and this has nothing to do with anything else that happens in the book. I have no idea. Welcome to what it's like to read a book with me. Oh my God. Okay, I'll be on better behavior tomorrow, I promise. Let's just keep going. We got a long way to go in chapter 17, so meet me here tomorrow for the next page of The Count of Monte Cristo. Until then, okay, goodbye. The Countdown of Monte Cristo is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. This show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. Theme song by Magic Solo. If you want to support the show and others like it, visit patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.